So this question came in from 5 a.m. This was a little bit of an older one in the mailbag. Appreciate your patience as always. Again, YouTube comments, X, formerly known as Twitter, or if you want priority access, subtext, go join the flock and get your questions answered right here on the show. What's up, Spence? Been an everyday viewer for a while, and although I frequently comment on posts, I've never asked a question. Your first question. I love it. So I thought I'd pick your brain for a sec. I got time. Recently, Josh Pate had a segment on Dan Lanning and Kirby Smart being comparable with the beginning of their careers and the similar path Dan is taking. Although that caught a lot of flack from SEC casuals, I think he brought up good points. What's your thoughts on that topic? Thanks, and go Ducks. So the defensive coordinator background, coming from the best program in the country at the time, that connection's there, recruiting at a high level, elevating the base, getting fans excited, and also remaining committed to the institution in which you're now the head coach, and it's the first head coaching opportunity for either guy. So yeah, a lot of things line up there. No doubt about it. The difference is that Lanning has not yet had a season as bad as Kirby Smart's first season. I don't know where you thought I was going with that take, tone-wise. Yes, I think Dan Lanning can win a national championship at Oregon. No, I cannot guarantee you that it will be this year or next year or the year after that or the year after that. Kirby Smart was hired back in 2016 at Georgia. He has been there for a hot second. 2016, you know what his record was? 8-5. 8-5. They won the Liberty Bowl. He had a 7-5 regular season, and since then he has won at least 11 games in every regular season. Is Dan Lanning about to accomplish that? We got to see how this first year goes in the Big Ten, I think, before we can feel confident that Lanning is just going to rattle off 11 to 12 win seasons every year. I mean, that's the highest of high standards. Kirby Smart is the best coach running the best program in college football right now. Is Dan Lanning ascending to that level? He could be. He could be. It takes time, though. It takes a minute, a long minute. Jim Harbaugh was hired in 2016 at Michigan. Took him a while to win a national championship. So I think the early comparisons are incredibly logical. I'm not ready to go full-throated, he's the next Kirby Smart. He's going to do this and win 2 national championships in a row and could have won a third if not for one other guy. Like, it's still too early. It's still too early because Lanning has to keep getting better as a coach. We saw him improve from year 1 to year 2. What does he do from year 2 to year 3? Because last year he got out-coached twice. And those were Oregon's only losses. Well, what if he just keeps getting better as a head coach and is outcoached only 1 time a year or 0 times a year? Well, then you could see Oregon start rattling off 11, 12 win seasons every single year. But you also have to keep recruiting at a high level. You got to be able to keep coaches around. You got to make good hires too. And Kirby Smart has certainly found that with, Lanning coming over to Oregon. When you're a great program, you're going to have assistant coaches leave, and you have to be able to replace those guys. Nick Saban had this at Alabama, and that's just the nature of the beast. Dabo Swinney at Clemson eventually lost his offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator and had to make hires. He kept guys around over there at Clemson longer than most guys are able to when you win at that sort of level. So I think the early signs on Lanning are incredibly good. Right now, Kirby Smart is on the precipice of building the next dynasty in college football. And we can't say that Oregon can get there. Well, we can say Oregon can get there. I'm not going to put my foot down and say Oregon will get there. They're going to do that because I don't think that'd be very honest or good sports talk for all of you out there, which is not what I aim to deliver, or I do aim to deliver honest and good sports talk the best way I can. But I don't think I'd be being honest if I said, yeah, no, he's going to do that. Yeah, no, it's 100% a lock. He's got the early indicators, but he's only a couple steps along the path. It's a long drive. When I went to my first job from the Bay Area in college to Eastern Oklahoma State, there were a number of steps I had to take along the way. I didn't do it in one drive. I drove to here, then I drove to here. Well, Lanning has driven here, and he's gotten partially along the way to there. Kirby's just got a head start, so he's further down that path. So I hope I answered that question correctly. Love the early indicators, but Kirby Smart, it's really hard to compare yourself and can be dangerous, quite frankly, for fans to compare their head coach to the best in the entire sport. Because then if you're not at that level, you could look at your coach and say, well, he's not any good. Well, he's not good enough at this. I mean, I have a buddy who's a Michigan fan who wanted Jim Harbaugh fired for years. And I looked at him and I said, "You're ridiculous." And he just won a national championship. He had to take that one back. All right, let's close with some quarterback talk here today. So I was thinking about Oregon's schedule and the quarterbacks that they're going to face this year. And there is a real possibility that Dylan Gabriel, though I don't think he's as good as Bo Nix, is better than every quarterback Oregon is going to face this year. I don't know of a quarterback in 2024 who I would rather have on Oregon's schedule. So let's just go down the list. Idaho, it doesn't matter who their quarterback is. It's an FCS team. Boise State, Malachi Nelson, former 5-star recruit. I've seen him throw the football live. He can spin it. He also hasn't started a game in college football yet. Hard to take him over Dylan Gabriel. Aiden Childs, that comes later. Sorry, Oregon State fans. That was an unnecessary and, frankly, somewhat accidental jab. But they're going to have either Jabari Johnson or Giovanni McCoy, an Idaho transfer or a Missouri transfer. Not taking either one of those guys over Dylan Gabriel. So the non-conference, yeah, that's easy. Ethan Garber's at UCLA. Taking Dylan Gabriel. Now it's time for Aiden Childs at Michigan State. I think one day you could talk me into Childs becomes, a quarterback who at his peak I might take over Dylan Gabriel. I don't know that time is now. He has not started a full season of college football. Gabriel has done that for several and has done so successfully at UCF and Oklahoma. So, yeah, Childs right now, that's a guy who maybe if he pops and everything comes together this year, he is bigger than Gabriel, has got a little bit more mobility, and has got a bigger arm as well. So, yeah, more upside. But right now, no, I don't think so. Ohio State, Will Howard, I'll take Gabriel. Purdue, Hudson Card, I'll take Gabriel again. Illinois, Luke Altmaier I don't think he's completed 60% of his passes in a season. He certainly hasn't hit almost 70 as Gabriel did a season ago. Michigan doesn't know who they're starting at quarterback. Neither does Maryland. Yeah, Maryland comes to Eugene this year because, realignment and everything makes sense. Wisconsin, Tyler Van Dyke. Look, this is kind of like the Aiden Childs debate. The overall upside because of physical traits might be greater. But right now, is he that sort of player? I think he's in a better offensive situation with Luke Fickell and Wisconsin than what he had with Mario Cristobal a year ago at Miami. And certainly Oregon fans understand why I would make that sort of statement. I need not expand upon it. But right now, no, I'm going with Gabriel. And then Washington. I mean, Washington has got an underrated quarterback, I think, in Will Rogers, who, was a quarterback for a couple of years under Mike Leach, the late Mike Leach, RIP, at Mississippi State. And he's played a lot of football. He, like Dylan Gabriel, has played a lot of football. He and Will Howard are probably the quarterbacks closest to where Gabriel is at in terms of, I think if you shuffled them around, you would get similar results everywhere. Like if you took Will Rogers and put him on Oregon's team this year, would I feel as good about Oregon? Yeah, I'd feel pretty similar. But do I feel great? Like, which of the two would I rather have? Who's got better numbers? Gabriel's also got the mobility factor I think puts him over the top here for me. It's not every day, including last season, by the way, that you can look at Oregon's schedule and I can confidently say, yeah, they're going to have a quarterback advantage in all 12 games that they play. This might be an ongoing topic of discussion here on the show. So let me know your thoughts in the YouTube comments or shoot me a note on Twitter or over at Subtext. Appreciate everyone listening. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day and go Ducks.